So thank you for being with us today. I'm Graciela Perez from Quanam, and we'll be talking about our field service optimization solution. We'll give a brief introduction, then talk about the functionality, then a demo, and we'll end with a summary. Quanam has more than 40 years of experience developing custom solutions, as well as implemented ERP, GRP, and other type of solutions. In the early starts, we implemented many of the world-class solutions like Oracle, PeopleSoft, GD Edwards, but those were oriented to big companies, and we'll decide to look for open source software solutions. So in 2013, we decided to implement Odoo. Since that day, we've been implemented Odoo for ERP clients. We have built a GRP based on Odoo for the Uruguayan government, and we have talked about that in another of our presentations, as well as other very specific solutions for instance, for education and the field service. Today we will be talking about the field service solution. A few years ago, we implemented a solution for a big utility company, the electric company of Uruguay, that has more than 1,500,000 clients. And we implemented Oracle for the mobile workforce management system, as well as the CIS system. The focus of that solution was in heavy optimization of the assignments. So when another company here in Uruguay, the Telecommunication Company, asked for a similar solution, we decided to build a solution based on Odoo and the experience we had with this other tool. For that, also, we had to integrate a partner solution, that's FW-logistics from ICA, and they have a scheduling and route optimization engine that we integrated with Odoo. So our client is ANTEL. As I said, it's the National Telecommunication Company, and they have this solution is used today for organizing the work of around 1,000 workers with 3,000 tasks a day and 50 dispatchers to organize the work. So it covers from service order reception, scheduling and task assignment, route optimization, monitoring, and management of SLA agreements. So what we built on Odoo was the core functionality, mainly to be able to maintain and customize all the different entities that are needed, and to receive or register work orders, appointments, then doing the resources scheduling, dispatching, and monitoring. That solution is integrated with the commercial system and other work order generation or registration systems that they have, but also it's possible to register the work orders in Odoo. Then that interacts with the human resource system that have all the skills from the crew members. Also interacts with the mobile devices where the orders are dispatched and where the crews can update the task status. And for, as I said, for the optimization and assignment and routing, we use the solution of FW-logistics from a partner. So it covers the whole cycle. As we said, The work orders can come from the commercial system, also from the asset management system for maintenance orders, for instance, or from the claim or incident management system. From there, we'll start with the scheduling and planning, assignment and routing, dispatching and monitoring, the execution. Then you could analyze the results and go back into the cycle. The solution also allows most of the assignment is done automatically, but also it could be done manually by the dispatchers. We believe one of the main features that the solution adds is the planning and scheduling, and it does that based on two concepts. There are some rules. The rules determine the compatible resources to accomplish a task. For that, it takes into consideration the service area, that could be geographical area or some areas that have been defined. Then the service class, that implies the type of task that they're going to be needed. So then the required skills from the crew members, and if there are other prerequisites, as for instance, vehicle prerequisites or specific equipment that needs to be in the vehicle that's going to provide the service. So based on that, so we have the compatible resources to be able that can accomplish the task. But then another thing is to have to define the optimal resources. So that for that, what it takes into account is the service level agreements that have been made. That's to be able to prioritize work orders. Also could be taken into account if there are any quotas, minimum quotas that need to be accomplished. For instance, for a certain type of task, one can define that a minimum that can be accomplished daily, for instance, or for each team. Then also workload balancing, minimize travel distance, and in case of an emergency, anything that's emergency overrides other objectives. So based on those objectives, the system determines then the optimal resource allocation for the tasks. Well, now we will continue with the demo. So we're going to be looking at the dispatcher dashboard. The dashboard provides the dispatcher with a single point of interaction to monitor and manage tasks and crew shifts. Each dispatcher will have will be assigned one or more dispatch areas that define the scope of the data they're going to be able to access, and the crew shifts and tasks. Here we can see a group of dispatch areas, also work team types, okay, and that defines then what is going to be shown according to the service area, service classes, and work team types determined by the associated dispatch area. So in the view you have here the timeline, then you can see all the different crews assigned, and all the tasks that have been automatically or manually dispatched to those teams. The weight of each of these tasks are given by the time estimated to complete the task. Also, the time between them is the time the transportation should take. You can see different colors for different types, and for instance the yellow ones are the times where they're going to have breaks. They're not going to be working at that time, maybe for lunch. You can drag and drop the different tasks to reassign them, and then also if you go over one of them and double click, then you will have the whole information about the tasks. Here we are going to see a view of the information of one specific task, where you can see all the different tabs with different information about the task. So there we go back to the chart. Then also you have, if you with the right button, you can take actions to over each task. The same with the crews. You can also from there access in the map or show all the tasks that a crew has assigned. There's also there you can have alerts, and you can access other information from those small buttons up there. Okay, and here we are showing all the tasks that have not been assigned to any crew, and the reason why they have not been assigned. For instance, there was no team available to be able to execute it. If you go on to the help, here you can get help over the task, and you can see then some information of what's needed to accomplish the task, and if the different crews have those skills. So you can take more with that. You can get more help on the assignments. Okay. One last thing I have not shown you is, for instance, there, if you want to see in the map for a crew, there we can select to see the map for the route that has been assigned. Also, just give me a second here. I will show you some. Well, there you can see a view of different, like a dashboard with information of the accomplished tasks. And again, going here to the map, we can load the map where in that vision we are seeing all the crews that have been assigned with different colors. So you have a general idea. You can go over each one. Okay, now we'll continue with the presentation. So now that we have seen some of the functionality, let's review some of the main features for the dispatcher dashboard. So as you saw, the dispatcher has a dashboard where all the tasks that have been assigned are there in kind of a Gantt chart, so he can monitor in real time the activity of each of the crew's vehicles. Also, these activities and the ones have not been assigned are assigned on real time if it's possible. For instance, if something takes longer than it should, or if it took less, then if they have time, there could be some other task assigned to the person. So that's some assignments that can be done automatically or manually. The dispatcher has a 360 view where he can go into each of the tasks, or he can see the KPI and alarms to support his activity. Okay? And as I said, he could dispatch on real-time work order to the crews if he decides to change the established order. Okay? And also, he could be looking into the map to see the online status, the routes, and all the information. So the return of investments of this type of solutions mainly are in different areas, but we have increased productivity, reduction of travel time and distance, and reduction of consumption of gas, uh, increased client satisfaction because everything is done on the time frame that was accorded. You can make appointments based on capacity and availability. Also, manual dispatching is expensive, you need more dispatchers, and it's also subjective. In our first big project, the one at UTE, I remember there was a big discussion when we started doing the assignment automatically because they were saying that was not the best assignment, but when you start analyzing, sometimes when you do it based on your knowledge or subjectives, you think something is better, but then if you analyze based on the criteria that have been defined, there's another alternative way of doing or organizing the task. So this is something that it increases the productivity and, avoids errors. And also, well, related to the satisfaction also is the SLA compliance, avoiding or reducing penalties for not being able to accomplish what you had committed to. So, as a summary, Quanam has a lot of experience in implementing solutions, and we are looking for a win-win relationship with other partners. We would like to explore opportunities if you see this functionality, this system could be of use in any of your clients to be able to work together to implement the solution. So please contact us if you're interested, and we are open for questions. Thank you all.
Well, thank you so much, Graciela, for sharing with us all your knowledge and all your experience with this development. And thank you, all of you, for being connected with us. So now it's the time for the questions. And just watching what happened here, I have a quick question for you. So this model or this development was created before we launch our field service module at Odoo Enterprise. Um, Now that we have this new option with this model, what are the main differences between your development and what we have out of the box in V13 and V14?
Okay. Mainly is the scheduling engine, okay, the planning and scheduling engine, where we can make many things automatically and do the best assignment for a large crew of people working. Like, for instance, in this client, we were saying we have 400 crews, more than 1,000 users on the field, and so it's not, you cannot do it manually, the assignments. So we feel that's the biggest strength of this module, and the configuration part of that engine also, that's part of the module.
Yeah, so you have a really good optimization part that it's an incredible development for this type of work. Because it's different when you are working with a team of, I don't know, like 10 or 20 people, different than having 400 teams and each team with more people inside. So I assume that having 1,000 people and try to optimize the routes between them is kind of hard. So do you do yourself the optimization or are you working together with any other development?
Yeah, we are that part. There's a colleague, another company from Uruguay that had that part, and they are very dedicated only to optimizing routes. And so we integrate their development with Odoo, okay? And that's how we came with the product.
And is the development able to go and do the same in any other countries, or is something that is just for Uruguay?
No, it's possible to use it anywhere. For instance, this company also has it running in Spain, and I believe in some project in USA. So it's possible to do that. Also, as we were talking before, it's possible maybe to extend it and integrate it with the field service solution, the enterprise, or the latest ones. That would be possible. We did it in 12 because it was when we started with the client. That was the latest version, but we could move on to other versions.
And does this solution has geolocalization, or how do they work? Are you able to see in real time what is happening with all of the people in field?
Yes, you can see it in the map. You can access from it and see it in the map, and so you see on real time what's happening on the field. And you can just limit it to maybe one group of people or the whole map. That with the filters you do in Odoo, then you can filter also the what you're seeing in the map.
And I assume this has a connection with this other solution and also an extra cost to have it alive.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Yes.
And what was the biggest challenge that you have when you were developing this?
In the development, it was more like integrating with this product and do it in a very smooth way, so you don't realize there's another product on the back for performance issues. And then on the implementation part, it's more like the training because you have so many users, so each of them has to know how to use the tool. So the training was the biggest challenge, and the change management, the cultural, change management, so they adopt it, and use it smoothly.
And I think that's one of the biggest challenges we have in every implementation is just how to
Yes,
develop, how to tell people what's new and try to make a cultural change on them and try to
yes,
adapt the new technology. So this is a
exactly.
great example of it. And more learning and understanding the scale that we have with this large implement. So, with what you have seen with our new V15, what do you think is the future for this specific development for you specifically?
We are on one part, we could upgrade to the latest versions, so we have it in the latest version. Mainly, it's a lot of development, so that's not a big challenge. And the other part would be trying to integrate it with the enterprise versions. What we would like is this to be able to be used in other projects, either in Uruguay or outside Uruguay. So I think that's one of the next steps. Also, at this moment, for instance, we are integrated with the mobile solution from our client instead of having an own mobile solution. So that's another thing we are thinking that we should add to the product.
Because in this case, they are portal user more than real users. So it should be a good solution for a large company.
Yes, sure.
Yes.
Okay. Feel free to leave your questions here in the chat. And while we receive more questions, I would like to ask you, um, do you see any usabilities for for this specific project? For example, can you use the same one for manage the fleet or the cars out in services? Can you add also the part of the product that you developed?
Yes, we believe it's possible to use it for different uses where you have things, whatever, on the field. We also thought it for other businesses that could use it, like delivering, tracking, other things related to that.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Graciela, for showing all your knowledge and your experiences with us. This is the
Okay,
beauty of Odoo, that we are a community. We are learning from other people's experiences, and this just open our minds to see the potential that we can have and how Odoo can solve the problems of every different companies, industries, and in this case, a really large company. So thank you so much. And you
Thank
guys
you.
in the other side of the screen, stay connected with the rest of our meetings today. Keep learning, and we will see you in another topics. Bye.
thank you also.
Thank you.
Bye.